Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, as you guys read by the title, we are going to be doing baby must-haves. I know this video is going to go mainly to those moms who are barely having their first kid. And you know, you're having your first kid, so you're out here buying all these things and you really don't know what you actually need. And I'm here to help you, girl. Don't worry about it. I'm here to help you so you don't go out and buy unnecessary stuff. I know I did. So yeah, before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe down below, especially if you're new here to my channel. Subscribe down below and turn on your post notifications so that way you're notified every time I post. And comment down any video ideas you guys would like to see. I'm open for all ideas. I'm home almost every week, so almost every day, so make sure you guys comment down ideas and like this video if this video is helpful. So okay, we're gonna go ahead and start. So apart from the the ones that are dug, you know, like diapers and wipes, you guys know. Okay, the diapers that I first started using was Pampers, but my daughter did get a rash with the Pampers brand, so we moved to Huggies, and ever since she was a baby she's been using Huggies. I feel like Huggies is a really good brand, but then again, I can't tell you to buy the brand Huggies because it depends on how your baby reacts with the diaper. So I've only used brand Pampers and brand Huggies. I really like Huggies, and I feel like they're more stretchable. Like I like how their diapers are made. So like I said, with the Huggies brand, I feel like it's just much better. Like it has like double security, so that way, you know, your diaper won't open. Like let's say, you know, here's the back. These already, you know, when you're doing a diaper, you put it like this, and then the nice thing is that it has this extra one right here that Pampers doesn't have, and I know this for a fact. And it so apart from this one already sticking to the diaper, then you have that purple one that sticks to the side. So that one I recommend. That's why I recommend Huggies. These are the Huggies movers. And then for wipes, I recommend any type of Huggy wipes. I like these a lot because, like I said, you don't want to be like the Pampers one doesn't tear. I just opened the brand new one to show you guys. So look, it disconnects itself, so that way when you're like cleaning your baby and you're holding his or her legs up, you can just start tearing, you know, and instead of it being stuck like the Pampers brand. So I do recommend the brand Huggies. Another thing I do recommend buying is, you know, like the essentials, like the essential stuff. Like I would buy my baby a thermometer. I feel like you guys should already know to buy a thermometer. This is the one that we bought my baby. This is basically like a, how do you say, a battery powered one. This is for the head, for right here, and then you can open it and this goes inside the ear. If you do want to do like, if you do guys do like the bottom temperature, you know, where you check the bottom from her booty, then you guys want to get the old-fashioned ones, like, you know, the long stick ones. But I do get this one just for head and ear, and it even says right here head and ear, and it is very accurate. So like, for example, you press head right here, turns on, and then you press it one more time, and then it like takes your temperature. So I recommend these a lot. Like this is very good. Like when she actually had a fever, it told me she had a fever, and I took her to the doctor and she did have a fever. So I recommend a thermometer. I recommend a really good one. I like this one. This one is the brand Movie. Another thing to get your babies, you know, another essential item is nail clippers. Of course, you want to get a baby nail clippers because, you know, it's small. So that way you don't use the big ones. I know a lot of parents do use like their nail clippers, but you should always buy your baby a small one because this way it has only the little space to cut their little nails. Because if you use a big wide one, it can cut like it could grab its skin, so you don't want that to happen. Another thing, you know, just a regular brush and a comb is necessary, especially because if your baby is born with long hair, when they go to sleep, they are going to get knots in their hair, like, and it's like, you know, you can't brush it out with the smooth brush. This is a brush I recommend getting, not like a hard bristle one, but this one is like made for babies. It's super soft. But for the comb, you want to get a comb to take out those little knots, you know, because of course the brush, it's soft, it'll just go right through it. Another thing, if you're having a brand new baby, I wouldn't recommend buying shirts. I would only recommend buying onesies, or how do you call them, the bodysuits. I think that's what they're called, the bodysuit ones, because it's just much easier. It holds the baby's clothes all together, because I did have like 2 shirts that I bought Aubrey when she was a baby, and like every time you hold her, it goes up and it goes up. So it's a struggle for them, and especially if they start rolling around soon, then you know it like moves while they roll around. So I feel like it's more secure to buy bodysuits. I guess there's probably cute outfits out there with just shirts and a short or pants or whatever, but it's better to go with the onesie. You want to buy a lot of like clothing wise, you want to get socks, because I feel like they grow out of socks really quick. My baby grew out of socks really quick, so I had to keep going and buying it. And then also mittens. I know a lot of babies, of course they're little, so they don't know how to control their hands, and that's how babies get scratches in their face. So if you're not cutting your baby's nails that much and letting them grow out, then you want to get mittens so they don't scratch their face. I did cut my baby's nails every time they grew out, so she did have a problem with scratching. Like sometimes she would get a scratch here and there. That's when I would know it was time to cut her nails. But I never actually used mittens because she had little hands, so sometimes the mittens will slip off because there isn't different sizes, or like the smaller size it will slip off sometimes. So I do just recommend keep cutting their fingers, but if you do want to prevent even more of the scratching, then you want to go ahead and buy mittens. Another thing I recommend buying is burping claws. Like, yeah, bibs are okay, but bibs are okay for when they're eating. I feel like you should, because I didn't start using my bibs until like a little bit more ahead into the months, like 4 months and up, because that's when they start trying foods, and that's when you want to give them bibs just in case they drop it on their clothes. But I don't recommend putting a bib on a baby when you're like feeding them, like either if it's breastfeeding or bottle feeding, because when they fall asleep, you know, babies move and the bib moves with it because it just rolls around. It just, you know, travels along your neck. I do recommend buying burping cloths, these, because that way you can just put it like this on their neck and feed them, and then when they're done, or they're like actually they fell asleep while drinking, then you can just remove it and put it aside, you know, because like I said, the actual bib will move around, and I feel like that's not safe for the baby, or like it will just not be comfortable because it will either flap up on their face, or you know, it just move around, and I feel like that's annoying. So I feel like once you're sleeping your baby, put this on his neck, feed it, remove it. And then I also have these aren't sold anywhere. These are some that my suegra made me, which is my mother-in-law. She made me these. She just got a cloth and made these into like squares, and I love these. I've had these since she was born, and like I said, they use as baby cloths. These are pretty good to use. Okay, another baby must-have we're gonna talk about is swaddling. A lot of parents don't swaddle their babies. I swaddle my baby, and sometimes you think as a parent like, oh, because you see other babies, they're born and they sleep with their hands free, and that's completely fine. But I know sometimes swaddling parents, they probably think, oh, my baby doesn't sleep with her arms free yet, like I feel bad for even starting to swaddle her. You know, it's perfectly fine to swaddle your baby, because your baby actually falls asleep more comfortably when they're newborn, because that's how they felt inside the womb. Once you're in your last pregnancy, your last weeks, your baby is literally tight in your womb, you know, because there is no more room in there. So they feel that snuggle, they feel like home, you know. So I remember when I was in the hospital, my baby, the first night they don't cry, and I learned, because I remember the nurse told us, they're like, the first night they don't cry, second night you're not gonna sleep. And that was true. My baby wasn't falling asleep, and I was trying to sleep her with her hands free, and she would not sleep until the nurse came in and swaddled her from me like really tight, and she knocked out. And I learned it's because the babies aren't, you know, they got used to sleeping tight. So it is completely fine to swaddle them. You can stop swaddling them like a month ahead or 2 months ahead if you want them to learn, because it is better to stop swaddling them like younger, or like early, I guess, because that way they can get used to just sleeping. Because you know, babies sleep with their arms like this, you know, instead when they start rolling around, of course they don't sleep like this a lot. Like my baby right now, she sleeps hands free, and we stopped swaddling her when she was like 4 to 5 months, because she would not go to sleep without her swaddle. She would not. And I even got worried, because sometimes my cousin's baby, he's like a year old already, and he still, my cousin told him that sometimes he still has to swaddle him because he got used to it, you know. But I wanted my daughter to get out of that custom around the 4 to 5 months, because I read online she will take out her hand. So she'll be swaddled like this and then have one hand out. And I read online when they start taking out their hands, it means that they're ready. So your baby will let you know when it's time to take off the swaddle. Also, when they start rolling around, it's time to start removing the swaddle, so that way, you know, they don't you know, pass away like if they roll around, you know, and can't get back over. So that is, your babies will let you know. So if you're a parent that wants to swaddle your baby, it's perfectly fine. And I actually some swaddles that worked for me, so they're way in my bucket, I couldn't get them, but basically you can swaddle a newborn, a baby, with blankets, like with thin blankets. You know, you just put it into like a triangle, you put your baby, you wrap it, you know, and then secure him or her, and that's how you swaddle baby, with a blanket. Or then I actually started, like, after she started going a little bit more, when she was moving a little bit more, I got her the swaddles, the actual swaddles, where like you put her, and I'll put a picture right here, it's like where you put her inside and then you put her arms down like this and you just swaddle over her arms, and it worked good. Like, some babies, like, if you're a parent who want to try just, you know, not swaddling, then you don't need this. This is not a must-have for you, because why buy them if you're not going to use them, you know? But if you are planning to swaddle, then buy them. Okay, we're going to talk about bottles. Hold on. Okay, I hit the shit on my knee. Oh, okay. So we're gonna talk about bottles. If you're bottle feeding or pumping, which will mean you'll have to put in a bottle, I do recommend bottles like this. The Tommy Tippy bottles are must-haves. Yes, they're a bit expensive, but not like exaggerating expensive. Like, you probably get 3 bottles in a box for $14-15. You're probably like, whoa, that's a lot for a bottle, like $5 a bottle. But they're really, really good. You don't want to get these cheap bottles. I mean, you can, but I don't recommend them. If you really want to spend your money on your baby, must-haves, these Tommy Tippy bottles, or the other brand, I think it's called Avena, or it starts with the A. I'll enter the picture here. Those bottles are round like this too, not as round, but they're a little bit more rounder than these. I did receive bottles like this when I gave birth, for my baby shower, so I never use them. These are not used. This one is, because I try to feed her with this one, but they don't like it. You want to get them a bottle, especially if you're breastfeeding and then you stop breastfeeding. You want to give them a bottle like this. I didn't breastfeed. I breastfed for like a month and a half, probably 2 months, with pumping and everything, because my daughter, she didn't latch, so I would have to breast pump. And I heard and I read that it's better to get them these bottles, because these are round and it fits around their mouths perfectly. If you give them this, look, of course my lips aren't the size of a baby's, but look how skinny this is. You know, they don't have anywhere to lay their mouth on. So one, you're gonna cause spilling on the sides, which will mean their hair will get sticky, their ears, which isn't good. So this one is like covers their whole mouth, and it feels like a titty, you know, it feels like a boob. Look at the, you know, the nipple. So with this one, my daughter would gag, because look at it, it's not short. So you see, and this one's more round and short, and it's like right here. So I do recommend, if you guys are gonna invest in bottles, recommend to get Tommy Tippy bottles. If not these, then the other ones. They are the same price, around the same range. These, of course, are cheap. You can get like a packet for $5. But I mean, this one's a good brand, Dr. Brown's, because of the little filter thingy inside or whatever. But I'm not gonna use this until she's a little bit much older. So bottle wise, Tommy Tippies. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go into bibs. We're gonna go ahead into pacifiers. Okay, so first we're gonna talk about clips. These are good, so that way your daughter, when you guys are in public, she doesn't spit it out. Especially when they go to sleep, they're used to just spitting it out. I recommend some of these. Aubrey doesn't use pacifiers. Like, believe it or not, Aubrey left pacifiers more than like 3 months now. Like when she was around 4 to 5 months. She never liked them. Well, she did like them when she was a baby. So the ones I recommend, I have a bunch there. We bought like 3 packets because she loved these, but then she left them like literally a month or weeks after. So these are like brand new if anybody wants to. So these are the this is how they look, so you guys can find them on the store. You sell these at Walmart, probably Target, you know. Look at it, these are so cute. Like, the colors are really cute. They have little animals on them. And then look at this. You see, it's like a boobie kind of. It's like kind of thick. It's not skinny. Look at these are the much bigger sizes. These are the ones, the brand new ones. Like, you can tell they're new. These are the brand new ones we have bought her because we stepped up the months. Like, this is when they're first born, you see them, and then this is when they're like much older. They get like a more rounded tip, you guys can tell. And basically these are better for babies because there is other ones like this one. Like, you know, can you see the difference? Look, straight up. And then this one has like that rounded tip. It's a difference because I don't know, it's probably just my child. You can try the straight up ones, like the very little straight up ones. We threw away all of those away because we have bought a bunch of like little straight up ones because, you know, they said they're for newborns, they're little, you know. But this was actually my daughter's favorite for a very long time. As you could tell, even the little princess came off. And then she didn't like the other one. She got used to like the little round tip. There's even much more skinnier ones than these. But so we just went and we bought the nom ones, and she loved these. These are like I said, they're filling. They're not too skinny or whatever. They're not too long. So she absolutely loved this. We're gonna go ahead into baby accessories. Okay, so this is my bucket of accessories. This is like what I use for her hair. And then I also have bows, but my daughter never liked bows. Like, she just didn't like it on her head, and she'll literally try to take it off. So she's more of a ponytail, little, even though she has like zero hair. Especially if your baby is born with a lot of hair, you're gonna want to do her hair. My baby is born with little hair, and I still do her hair. So rubber bands, I don't recommend buying, even if you already have a bunch, because, you know, you buy these with a lot, like the 100 packet, 200 packet. So these are not okay to put on babies because this is an actual rubber band. This will pull your hair. You know, when you put this on, where did I even go? You know, when you put these on yourself and you like take them out, sometimes I just break it off, because if I try to pull it off, it hurts. It'll pull your hair. So why would you want your baby to go through that? So what I do recommend buying is these. These are like elastics. These are more, they're not the rubber band feeling, like that dry tire feeling. This is more like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it, like soft, and they're very stretchy, you know. These won't hurt. I pull these, like, they're like, I don't know how to explain it, not slimy. They're just smooth. Her hair is very little and very thin. I just slide them off and it doesn't hurt her at all. But if you still don't want to buy rubber bands, then I recommend these. These are like little scrunchies, baby scrunchies. These are super soft, no harm done. Just slide them off, you know. They're easy. There's a bunch of cute ones that you can find at Walmart, Target, wherever. Clips, on the other hand, I have these very little ones right here, so you guys can tell this is just easy. Of course, I be careful when I put it. Like, I don't snap it on her head. I like try to do it on my finger, so that way it doesn't hurt her head. But these are really good. These are secure. Okay, so like I recommend these bows right here, or these little clips. It has the little thing on it. It's not like this one where it's just metal. This will hurt them. This will scratch them and scrape their head. But this one is just, it slides right in. Like, it doesn't hurt when you're putting it in, you know, because it's this. So I recommend these bows. Toys wise, you never want to get your baby something heavy. Like, you do, if you want to get your baby toys, you can as soon as they're born, because, you know, babies like to explore stuff. They will learn how stuff works. I usually just get her stuff that makes noise and dangles kind of thing, so she's entertained with them. You don't want to get her something heavy that she can't carry, or she can hurt herself, or like she can fall back and hurt herself. So that's one of my recommendations for toys, and that's basically it. I don't have any must-haves for food or nothing, because that's however you feed your baby. I'm not gonna tell you how you feed your baby. Also, diaper bag. If you guys haven't seen my diaper bag video, you guys should go watch that. I recommend buying that diaper bag because it is the best. It is by a brand called Key Babies, and I totally recommend, because it's probably like the best one you can ever get, you know. I think that's it. If there's anything else that you guys have questions, like, oh, is this good to buy or is this not good to buy, make sure you guys go ahead and comment them down below. If this video helped those mommies who are gonna be new mommies this year or next year, those are my must-haves. I hope it helped you guys, and if it did, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up, and yeah, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and that's basically it. Bye, guys.